woke up this morning, as I'm sure many of you did as well, and my YouTube feed was inundated with A1 II reviews. Normally, when I see that, I would just be like all over it because I get excited about these new product releases and just gear in general. But recently, I think my enthusiasm for that type of content is starting to wane. Brian here at Random Tech. Let's talk a little bit about this. This isn't necessarily a rant, but I feel like cameras in general have really plateaued, and any new camera that comes out is like almost like the law of diminishing returns. Like they're excellent and capable and very good, but at the same time, can it do what your existing camera can already do? And the answer most of the time is yes, it can. Or your existing camera can do pretty much what that new camera can do. And the amount of, I don't know what you want to call it, but just the hype around these new product releases is just staggering. So anyways, the Sony A1 II was kind of the one that I just said like, this feels like an A1 software update, with the exception of the screen in the back. It doesn't really inspire me to learn anything more about it. It's just a little bit more of the same. I'm sure it's a fantastic camera. Now, don't get me wrong, but it really doesn't do anything for, I think, put it this way. If you are an A1 user, I am not, then you probably are happy about this because it offers some new autofocus features that perhaps the A1 doesn't have. But all things considered, the A1 is still a very, very competitive camera, as is the A7S III. That is still the benchmark camera out there if you are looking to shoot video with a camera. And that camera is from 2020. So here we are, that camera is almost 5 years old, and it is still the benchmark camera out there, which is, back to my original point, we've kind of hit this plateau. Like, how much more is there? Do you need 4K 240? Do you need 8K 60? Like, none of this stuff really matters. And I guess I'm kind of getting tired of these gear upgrade cycles and the gear hype machine, if you will. I know that gets a ton of views and it gets people really excited, but I feel like I'm starting to opt out of that and instead focus more of my creative energy on using the tools that I have. Let's talk about that for a second as well, because there's a lot of tribalism out there and it's just beyond me. Like, people expect like one camera brand to do everything for them. It's the equivalent of like trying to go pick up a yard of mulch in the trunk of a Civic. It's not going to happen. That's the wrong tool for that job. Cameras are the same thing. So what's happening is there are people, and let's talk specifically about, I don't know, let's say Fujifilm, right? With autofocus, video autofocus. Video autofocus has always been bad with Fuji, like always. Sure, they improved it a little bit and then it got a little bit worse, but in general, you could never rely on the autofocus with these Fujifilm cameras. But what they do make are cameras that inspire you to pick them up and use them specifically for stills photography. So people are trying to, and I would say I blame a little bit of Fuji on this, where they are marketing these products as video first cameras when truly they're not. Where am I going with all this? No one camera or camera system can do it all. They just can't. Does your Sony A7 IV inspire you to like grab it and go take, street photography pictures? If it does, great, but it doesn't for me. So for that, I rely on systems like Fuji to fill that void, fill that need. But when I've got my daughter and her boyfriend about to head out for some cruise, like some, something that I need to get a picture in like 2 seconds and I have like literally like 2 seconds to set up, am I going to grab my Fuji camera? Hell no, right? I'm just going to grab the Sony and take a quick picture of that because I know when I turn it on, put it to aperture priority and put it on wide tracking and I go to take that shot, it's going to nail the eye every single time, and I'm going to get the shot. And I can't trust Fuji to do that. So again, right tool for the right job. But when I'm going out by myself and I've got time to slow down and I'm not necessarily worried about if I hit autofocus or if the autofocus works perfectly every time. If I miss 7 shots out of 10, I don't care. I'm not getting paid to do this, right? So that's totally sufficient when you're using Fujifilm, or not even using the autofocus at all and just do a manual focus shot. But they're a lot of fun to use, so that's why I use them. And then other things like, I'm looking at this camera right here. This is like a little Ricoh GR3X, right? This thing is tiny. Literally fits in your pocket. So when you are up on a ropes course, this could fit in your pocket. I suppose a phone could do the same thing, but the pictures are so much better on this as opposed to what you get out of your phone. So just have the right tool for the right job. And the expectation is not realistic to think that one camera brand or one camera is going to do it all. So let me know down in the comments, are you kind of getting off of this gear hype train and starting to look at it a little bit differently like I am, and instead focusing more on the craft and the art of photography and videography as opposed to the gear itself? Let me know down in the comments. If you do enjoy content like this, I just kindly ask that you smash the like button and maybe subscribe to the channel as well, and we will catch you in the next one. Take care.